Hello everyone, this is Solomon of Solomonic Demons, and today we're gonna be talking about EVH amplifiers. Now, before I start talking about this topic, let me tell you guys that I'm a big fan of Eddie Van Halen, of Van Halen the band, of the legacy that Eddie left to this world as a guitar player with his music, with everything that he did. And I'm also a big fan of Wolfie Van Halen, of his project Mahmoud. Like I said, Eddie was and he gonna be remembered as one of the greatest guitar players that we had in history. So yeah, why suddenly I want to talk about EVH amplifiers? There was this interview that was made to David Friedman, that is an amp builder, and he actually worked for Eddie, made an amp for him, like another amp builders like Bogner, Paul Rivera, Michael Soldano, and the legendary Jose Arredondo that also made amplifiers for Eddie Van Halen. And well, in this interview that was made to Freeman, I actually gonna leave the link of that interview on the description of this video, and I'm gonna resume something that was said on that interview. And this is about how Eddie used to test his amplifiers to know if actually they were worth it, or if the amplifiers will hold to be on tour, to be on the studio, an amplifier that is well done. And this is what Freeman said on the interview. This is the way that Eddie Van Halen used to test his amplifiers. So he used to take his amplifiers to the studio, he used to hit the strings on the guitar, lay the guitar on the floor, had the amp cranked all the way up, and left his studio. And when he left the studio, he left everything on like that, and he used to leave the studio for days. That was his torture test. That's how it used to be called. That's why I'm making this video, because I don't think that Eddie never made that kind of test with the EVH 5153 line, or at least for the ones that are for commercial sales. I think that EVH 5153s are amplifiers that need a lot of service, are amplifiers that have poor quality control. I mean, I'm saying this for my personal experience, from experience of people that I know that had EVH 5153s, and not the Stel one, 100 watts, 50 watts launch boxes, Iconics. In my example, in my experience, I had the EVH 5153 made in Mexico, and the white one, and the amplifier broke down twice. And at the end, I had to sell the amplifier because I felt that it wasn't reliable. My second EVH amplifier that I still have, is my EVH 5150 Iconic that I bought to review it in the channel. I still have it in front of me right now. That amplifier also broke down. Now, when the issue of my EVH 5150 Iconic happened, I remember that I post everything online, everything that will happen. I actually show you guys when I took the amplifier to my tech and everything, and then the amplifier was fixed. There was actually a problem with the input. I don't remember very well what was the problem, but in the comments of the YouTube video that I posted, the designer of the amplifier, James Brown, responded, and he said that that was an issue that was happening for the first batch of the EVH 5150 Iconics that came out. Actually, mine are ones of the first batch, and that they eventually fixed that problem. Then I decided to get an EVH 5150 Stealth launch box, and when the amplifier came, it had a problem with a fuse. I changed the fuse. Now then the amplifier was working for like 2 months, and when I was working on the review of the amplifier stopped working on the clean channel at all. Then I tried to fix it. I checked the preamps, I checked the preamp tubes, and at the end I had to take the amplifier to my tech. He fixed it for me, and the problem happened again. And then these were the time when I was buying my house, when I was moving out, and I just moved out. I decided to fix the amplifier again. I put it on eBay and I sold the amplifier. Obviously, the amplifier was covered under guarantee, but what it was happening, it was unacceptable. When I was reading about this article, about this interview that was made to David Freeman, It's very funny because EVH amps are not reliable. In my opinion, I won't go to the store, get an EVH amp, and then try to play it live because I cannot trust EVH amps for that situation anymore. I don't play live anymore, but honestly, I can't stand. And this is for the EVH amplifiers made in Mexico, for the EVH amplifiers that were made on Vietnam. Remember, at some point, there were 5153s that were made on Vietnam. Um, Same thing for the 5150 Iconic. Even if I had this amplifier for a while, nothing had happened again to the Iconic. And I don't think that EVH amps are reliable. Now, this is my opinion, and ironically, and there is on Reddit a post from a guy that he said that by accident he let his EVH amplifier on one night, and now it's not working. Like I said, all the EVH amplifiers that I have tested sound great. I used to love the EVH 5150 50 watts, the white one that I used to have. I used to fucking love that amplifier, man. It was a great high gain fucking amplifier. I couldn't believe how great the launch box used to sound. The Estelle that I bought, man, that amplifier had a fucking spot on my studio. I was like, I gonna keep this thing. Honestly, I don't think that the EVH amplifiers that the bands that are endorsed by EVH by Fender are the same ones that we can get on the store. I mean, it's hard to me to say this, but I think that those amplifiers are maybe assembled here in the USA or something, or tested in another way. I mean, I don't want to push too much more with this video. This is just my opinion. Like I said, if you have a different experience with EVH amplifiers, if you have more than one EVH on the past and all of them had been without any kind of issue, if you never had an issue with an EVH amplifier, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I mean, just check around. There is a lot of issues with these amplifiers. Hopefully, actually, Fender is addressing every problem that these amplifiers had in the past and are fixing them now. And maybe, and hopefully, I'm wrong. Hopefully, this was just bad luck of mine, bad luck from my friends. And like I said, I have a friend that have more than one EVH amplifier in the past, and he had to take those amplifiers to his tech too because issues. This is all what I have to address, because I wanted to share my experience, and I wanted to share this interview that I saw in the internet. And yeah, this was Solomon of Solomonic Demons. Thank you so much for watching this video. Take care. Bye.